Okay.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, hi, hi. Um, I wonder if everybody can hear. People have not enjoyed the live, so let me just put my phone down and put the speaker like this. Then maybe people will be able to. Uh-huh. So this is our test pilot. It's not the actual pilot for this show. This is our test pilot. My name is King, and I'm with my what do you call this? My host, my second host or my co-host. Yes, I'm with my co-host Ifu. Ifu, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. This is Ifu.
Ifu, this is Ifu's first time on my live stream. And
Yeah,
but Ifu has always been in King's life. Ifu has always been in my life since forever. At this point, yeah. So she's my nearest and my dearest person. Like our
yeah,
relationship is it spans past the borders of friendship. Yeah, like we are very, very,
yeah.
very close. So she's a very important person to King. But their pronouns are, if you tell us your pronouns,
My pronouns are they, she.
they, she, they, her, them,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, so those are her pronouns or their pronouns. Anyway, anyone that's comfortable for you guys. So I was brainstorming this idea, yeah, because something that happens is that whenever I have um a lot of feelings, I call my friend, I call Ifo, and we start to talk about it, and we can go on for hours and hours and hours. And you know the conversations are so enlightening, you understand, and because they are so enlightening, yeah, sometimes it's like, I should get a pen and biro. Like I should get a pen and paper to, like, note down some ideas. And she also does the same to me as well, when she has like a lot of thoughts in her head and her head is cluttered, her mind is cluttered. She calls me and she offloads everything, and she also finds some relief talking to me. So I was like, there are certain things that we discuss that I feel like is worthy of being shared. Hello, Arrow. Hi, welcome to the chat. Please, I want you guys to tell me if you can hear my co-host. She's on a call right now with me. If you say hi to everybody first.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear her? Please let me know. I want to I want to get a sense of how we're going to move forward with this conversation. Hello, hi, Rez fan. Welcome to the chat. Can you hear? I want somebody to confirm for me if you can hear my co-host on the line.
Can you hear me?
Just say hi so that we can.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, I want the audience to, like, I want my viewers to say hi so that we can move forward with the conversation. So this pilot, okay, so like somebody can hear you. Granga, welcome to the chat. Oranger, anyone. Welcome to the chat. So LMU, what the hell is system system? So this is like a pilot episode here, a test pilot. It's not even the actual pilot. I just want us to hear, like, to test the audio, to test different things, on this um live stream. So yeah, basically, a lot of things that we speak about, privately, and it's like, oh, this would be wonderful to share with people that might have such interest in this kind of conversations. Yeah. Because we talk about everything and nothing at the same time, and um you kind of to share it. Yeah, I feel me. I was like, let's share it, and if it was like, okay, go ahead, like, but like I also wanted to know Ifu's ideas on this show. because I titled it Uncut and Uncensored. So what does if you think about it?
Yeah. On what? On censored. What's the first one?
Uncut and Uncensored.
Uncut. Uncut and uncensored. Okay, that's nice. I mean, I guess that captures how we are going to speak. Yeah, that
Yeah.
captures how it sets the frame so that we don't censor or edit
Hello, Julie.
diplomatically.
Yeah, like I don't want there to be any censorship in the things we talk about. You get hello,
Yeah.
ABF from Turkey. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the show today. Um, so I feel like we need to clear the air first of all. My name on this channel is King is an Alien, and I'm not joking around with that name, yeah. And I feel like if what do you think about the ideas of alien, like being an alien or identifying as an alien in this like reality?
I mean, it makes sense on many levels, and it prepares someone who doesn't know you on what to expect. So it's more like you don't just assume you know what you think you know or who you think you are meeting,
Right,
but
right.
the word alien allows one to actually be themselves. To present all of those nuance, the quirks, and the so-called different. It prepares also the receiver to know that okay, something that I do not expect or I did not expect might be coming.
Right.
And I think that it's a very solid description of what someone is meeting. It reduces the uncertainty of meeting someone new, but also allows the person hearing the alien word to be themselves. Because indeed we are aliens.
Because what?
Because indeed we are aliens. I
Right.
mean, to each other and to ourselves. Are we not discovering ourselves every day? So, yeah.
Yeah, like in
Makes
that
sense.
sense where but like the way we grew up now, the way Hollywood and all of that movies and everything kind of propagandize the idea of an alien to becoming this thing. Like imagine putting the concept of an alien into a box as a human being. You get so it's like so when you say things like, "Oh, I'm an alien," people start to think like, "Oh, are you some kind of strange creature with antennas and big bug eyes, saying hello, I mean no harm," all those kind of things. Yeah.
I swear, like, don't live by the movies. Like, OMG, they create this very weird frame that alien, as a word, is only encompassing someone who is from another dimension, another planet, another solar system, another whatever. But in the broader sense, the meaning of being an alien, it's what we see every day. Because can you really tell what a thing is or a person is? You don't know. You don't know. Even if you know their name, you still don't know. And it would be great to, not make ourselves seem too strict to others. We then try to force ourselves into boxes. And these boxes remove the essence of the person. So, I mean, the word
Right.
alien really, I think that it says many things on many levels for me. It tells the person, hey, just be open-minded, just receive me as I am. And it tells the person,
Right.
the other party, I can be me because this person is expecting that difference.
Yeah. But like if you look at this whole like storytelling about aliens and all of that in our movies and our books, the first thing like an alien is met with from human beings is hostility. Like, oh, I don't know what you're capable of. I think I need to cut into you and see what is inside you so I can be sure of. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
you were just saying that when you identify as an alien to other people, it kind of gives them the certainty that You don't have to
Yes.
expect, a certain, what do you call it, normalcy from me. Do you get? You don't have to expect
Uh-huh.
me to behave in a very typical fashion. But like at the end of the
Yeah.
day, like what exactly is it about our existence, this system that we exist in, that like any new thing that comes in contact with so-called civilization that we're experiencing right now, it just immediately shoved into a box. And if you cannot fit into that box, you are more or less dissected, okay, and then like removed from society. You get that kind of thing. Like
Mhm.
what
Yeah.
exactly do you think forces everybody to wear this uniform of conformity, even though we really
Mm.
can't truly conform? Like all of us are not conforming in any way. We are putting on the mask of conformity. So like there's layers and layers upon, those two layers of I can never conform, because I just can't.
Yeah.
I physically can't, but I have to put on this coat, this mask of conformity. You get to pass.
Yeah.
So it's like at the end of the day, like I don't think the system want us to authentically kind of fit that box either. I don't think the system cares. Do you get?
Yeah. True, true, true,
Like
true.
I don't think the system
I mean,
really cares about us passing or not passing the way like where people, talk about passing, I have to pass as because I am a trans woman, I am a trans man, I have to pass. You get even regular people, cishet people or whatever, you get they don't still feel full enough in their normalcy, in their heteronormal normativeness, yeah. So it's like talk less of, but removing the whole issue of sexuality and queerness aside, let's talk about like that's what I'm asking. Like what exactly is it
yeah.
about this system, yeah, that
Mm.
wants us to wear two layers of deception just to follow through with whatever is coming our way, like living in this world, basically.
Yeah. You know, it's how do I let me begin by saying that before, yeah, I used to have like an earlier stance on this topic. And earlier, yeah, I used to think that because it was based on the programming, based on the design of the system, right? And it's on many levels. So there is the very big one is the structure of the system.
Yeah.
If we acknowledge that we are existing inside a system, then it will help us understand why. Then we can progress to the next question of, okay, how do we come out of it?
Right.
But you see, the system doesn't care about you as an individual. It doesn't fucking bother if you're wearing 10 masks, if that mask, is causing you to dilapidate so badly and so
Okay.
great. The system covers itself because
Hmm.
it's working behind the scene, and it makes you feel that you are the one who is not enough, who is not capable of wearing the mask.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
now you're like, it's it that everybody's doing it, so I'm gonna do it. But again, we did not just start from everybody is doing it. We have to go back to our childhood.
Hmm.
Remember that a child, like look at the state of a child, born, helpless,
Right.
placed in the care of another human being that doesn't even know their right from their left. Now the child is dependent on this caregiver, dependent, like solely dependent on this caregiver, that the child is unable to do anything by itself.
Right.
So now the child, even as a baby, begin to develop tactics, survival skills. How do I ensure that at least I get that milk?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the child, and we think that children, they are not non-entities, the ones that are already born. They are not non-entities the way we think they are.
Sometimes people are not even aware, like adults are not even aware that they see children as non-entities, as objects, as things that they own.
It's not. It's not my child. The child is never your child, and it's not my mother. No, you are two perfect strangers who will begin to learn each other. But you see this idea that my child, you just possess a thing that you don't know. Yeah. You possess a thing that you don't know. You are not just giving yourself a severe, responsibility of what you don't even know.
Right.
But also you have got yourself the opportunity to meet that alien because that child is a stranger to you.
Yes. Like I think the aliens that we meet every day are children that are born into this world. Like let's just make a pin of that. Like every child born into this world is an alien. You get.
Yes. Yes. And then you trace it back to the very first person who was ever born.
Right.
So are we not all aliens who pretend that we have, like we are the same? The thing is that if we pretend that we share commonality, it would have been fine. At least it would have been a better, approach. But this idea that we are the same is not even a pretend. The solid idea that we are the same. That's why everybody will go to school at 6 years old. That's why everybody every child will have to sit in the class. That's why everything is so structurally uniformized that the idea of uniformity does not even cross our mind that is wrong.
Right.
It doesn't cross our mind. This is crazy. It's not sustainable. But you see, if you trace it from where we started, from that dependency of a child on the caregiver, who then start to learn survival skills and how to survive, and then you discover that until you play the game of uniformity, you might not survive. You might be chased out of your house. How many children?
Even on that note here, hold on, sorry. Even on that note here, you know the funny thing that happened like just before I started the show. So there were some kids playing outside my shop here. Then some other kids came to report them that come and see these children. Oh, they are doing yama yama in your shop or something. I was like, what is going on? You get? So I went outside to meet those children. I was like, oh yeah, now everybody come here. Let me address you. And they were looking at me with so much suspicion, so much like they were so suspicious of me. I was an adult. I am an adult to them, you get, and I am big and I have all the power. And they're like tiny little kids. But I really did not mean to scream at them. I didn't even intend to scold them. You get that kind of thing because I know they were just playing. But like just telling them, come, I want to talk to you. Do you know that they were now coming to me, coming towards me? And then I now said, I won't beat you. If you see the way they ran, they ran. And I was like, it just hits me because I literally said, I won't beat you. So it feels as if, did I speak wrong English or do they not understand English? Which they do understand English. Do you get? But like, I was like, why did they run when I just said, I was even trying to assure them that I will not beat you. But it made them like run. So it's like, that means they must have heard it somewhere before, first of all. You get. Second of all, they must have experienced so much um like betrayals of trust where maybe an adult figure close to their parent, their auntie, their uncle, their teacher will say, come, I will not beat you. And that's when you know that that child is going to get the beating of their lives. Do you get? So like in that moment, I really felt immediately I saw that reaction, I stopped saying I will not beat you. I just said, oh yeah, come now, please come, I'll tell you something. And then the ones that like bravely barely managed to step in front of me, I was like, okay, since you are here, please take care of this place for me, okay? I put you in charge. Do this, and you could see their face like, what is on talking about? Like, why are you talking like this? You get, and then immediately it changed to like a little bit of like careful smiles, like, okay, we're not in trouble, and nothing bad is going to happen to us. And then I was like, okay, now, bye bye, take care. Make sure you maintain that place for me. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. You get, so like in that sense, do you get the way that child was approaching me? Is they are more or less approaching an alien. Okay, like the language I'm speaking is not the same. That like it's not translating the same way in their mind. So we're not speaking the same language in that moment. Do you get? And something that I love about children, like they know how to collect information for their survival. They are very good survivalists. if they will have to break their minds to survive on this earth, they will break their mind, because at the end of the day, they're in hostile territory. Meanwhile, we the adults, and like we that have been living for so long, we actually think, that, oh, you coming into this world, you are strange, you are new, you're an alien, you get, and it's like, at the end of the day, like, what are we doing here? You get, why are we deceiving ourselves when the difference is so clear, it's so obvious every moment we live our lives on this earth. It's like, you are strange, I'm strange, you know, all those kind of things. You get that kind of energy. So like, I don't know, I feel like children here are the biggest show of how much um how different, human beings are from each other, how alien we are to each other. Do you get? But
Yeah.
like, I don't know, the thing about adulthood is that you go through a period of like socialization where they will now beat into you, or they'll make you fear so much for your survival that you have to now say, okay, 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 I'll pretend that like that everybody's the same. And like, why
Yes.
is why is sameness so important to the system actually? That's the thing I feel like is coming up in my head now. Like, why is sameness important to the system we exist in?
See, sameness. The thing there, before, I would have, before, if you had asked me maybe some months back or some years back even, I would have said something in the lines of, sameness makes it easy to control, like make control easy. To an extent, yes. Sameness is, or sameness as we know it structurally as a system, is a very lazy
On the
way of
surface of it,
governance.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a very lazy thing to do because, I mean, but it's not just lazy. This is what I would have said before, that sameness is a very lazy approach to governance of any system or any society. But it's not just laziness. Later now, I realize that sameness as an approach is not just laziness. It's a system that is not governed. See, sameness happens when the system is not governed. Let me explain.
Right. Okay.
So when in every system, yeah, there are parts of the system. And a governed system takes, what do you mean? Takes account of the changes that are happening.
Yeah.
There is the feedback loop where when the changes are now occurring, something happened more than, maybe there's a threshold. Something happened more than 3 times, you're like, okay, what's happening? Why is it coming up? You look into it, right? Then do we change it? Do we update it? Do we upgrade it? Do we do all of this? These are things that happen in a governed system.
Right.
A system that is not governed does not look at its feedback. It does not, either it does not look at it, or it does not have the power to look at it, or it doesn't know that it exists. So there are many layers to it. It could be that our society is set up and we don't realize that our society is set up. Secondly, that we don't have the power or the right authority to look at the feedback, because there is always feedback to a system. There is always feedback, and we don't have the mechanism. I will go with the last one, which is
Mechanism.
the mechanism. Yes, as a society, we do not have currently the mechanism to allow feedback be productive.
Okay. Why? How?
Yeah.
How did you come about that?
So, if we have mechanism is a structure or infrastructure that allows feedback to be possible, to be productive. That's not possible, but to be productive.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, let me see this simplest example to use now. If you look, say, let's start with the whole idea of maybe democracy, for example. They say the people have the power to choose their leader to represent them, right?
Yeah.
But look at even two human beings. Is there any two human being that is the same?
No.
So how is it possible that one person will represent like thousands
Millions.
of people? Represent the interest of thousands of people.
It's not possible
You
now.
see?
It's not possible.
Right. So what then happens if the system or this, we have mechanism? If we have mechanism, we would have noticed that our civilization is expanding at a very fast rate.
Right.
The
Right.
fact that there are different forms of people coming up. So it's not to penalize the so-called disruptors of the system, but to take their act of so-called disruption as feedback mechanism. So now that feedback
Oh,
mechanism.
okay, yeah.
Okay, so let's say now, let's look at who are the disruptors we're seeing in society. Especially, it depends. They might label someone a terrorist or a disruptor who is organizing protests, all of those things. So let's say there is a protest,
Yeah.
and then what is the reason for this protest? Oh, those people are saying that they want more water.
They want more water.
They want more water.
Okay.
We say, okay, but if we have structure that adopts a sort of structure that respects feedback, we will not even have demonstration to begin with.
Right.
Because by the time, if we had mechanism and structure, like I'm saying, now I'm trying to find this example to paint it very well, yeah? So if we had structure and mechanism, it will be that by the time 10 or 50 people, let's say threshold is 50, by the time 50 households is already experiencing that they need more water, 50 households, or let's say 100 households, is experiencing that they need more water. They're already logging in the system. Right. Let's say today, they say, if your house, you use more than 3 liters of water in 1 week, because we need threshold, no? Say in 1 week, if you use more than 3 liters of water in 1 week, you have to report it. And now we notice about 100 households have logged in that they use more than 3 liters of water in 1 week. Yeah. And then in plugin, we are getting this feedback. Let's say we are getting the feedback in some kind water regulation service, Yeah. And then the regulation service is getting that 100 people are now using more than 3 yes, 3 liters. And then we'll start to looking, okay, this is something. We've gotten to threshold. Threshold is between 100 and 150. If 100 to 150 people make this same complaint, we should look into the quantity of water supply to them. You see? And then we'll start to ask the question, they are using more than 3 liters. How many people per household? And where is the water going into? Okay. You see, by the time this feedback is analyzed, then we can decide should we increase the liter per house. Yeah. Exactly. And what does that mean? What does that mean for cost, for payment, for the house,
the suppliers, and the systems and everything?
Fact. And now we have something tangible and concrete that is life, not this imagined thing that we are doing. We're working with so many imagination as a society. Yeah. And it's not imagination, it's illusionary measurement. We do not have like real fact. And when we have fact and data, we do nothing with it.
I feel like there's even an active move to like obscure facts, like hard rational numbers. Yeah, like there's an active move in every system. It's not even now, like right from time. Every time like facts are being presented to any sort of authority or governing body, they're like, calm down, I know more than you. They're like, oh, we've been here longer than you. Or they're like, I don't think this is applied. Like, this is already working. Why change it? Like, your numbers are not going to do anything. And it's like, what is the point you get of what you are doing? Not expanding according to the data that's like that is the basis of your whatever action or the basis of whatever system you are running. You get
this thing you are saying now, it really just reminded me of something that I thought about early hours of today, actually. And yes, I was asking myself the question. Like I was looking through social media and I'm seeing, different people complaining and lamenting, in different situations, different things happening all over the world and all of those things, and nobody's paying attention, doing anything with it. And then I started to ask myself, because there's a pattern I've noticed. Yeah, the pattern is that as a civilization, this is not the first time we are here.
Right, right,
We are not the
right.
first
Actually,
civilization to ever exist here on this earth. We have artifacts from past civilization for gazillions of years.
yeah,
And something that is very obvious is that every civilization gets to one point. They sort of eliminate themselves and then begin again with this sudden amnesia that they don't know
yeah,
what. And
that's
suddenly they are
true.
getting to that point again and they are eliminating themselves.
And
It's a circle.
yes, I think again, like this cycle of like humanity is going to get to the point where it's extinct itself again. Do you get, just to not deal with the problem
Not
that has
natural.
been repeating itself for years, like for ages and ages, basically. I feel like we are getting to that point where everybody's like, you know what, let everything just blow up. And you even hear it in ordinary conversations. People are like, please send the flood. You get like, oh, please let the earth explode, let the sun explode, let all of us start again. You get that kind of thing. And it's like once that voice like
It's not
increases,
an advancement. Yes, but it's not an advancement.
it's
If we will
not.
have to start again, you know how many times
Because
we've started
we'll
again?
still get here.
We've
We'll
started
still get
so
here.
many times. Exactly. We start and we get to the same point. And you know what I used to, before I was like, why do we always start, end and start, end and start, end and start? Initially, I thought maybe it's something defective with us as people, but
Mm.
it's not. We don't have. See, the point is that when a system is set up, it is not a forever thing. A system is supposed to be governed in order to allow it to expand without collapse. You see, collapse is a product of ungoverned system. We have
Oh.
structure, society that is not governed. See, governance is not policy. No. Beyond policy, there is a lot of things that is done behind the scene of governance in an expanding community, expanding society. Look at okay, just look around the world, King. Look
Right.
around the world.
Right.
You will stories of migration. You now start to hear, oh, migration is the problem. Oh, we are now too much population. Oh, this one. Oh, that one. Oh,
Funny
it's
enough,
not.
those people are saying migration is too much. Meanwhile, people like us, people that are in countries like African countries or countries that are very like, not as great are saying they want to run away, and that's like the end of their thought process. Like in Nigeria, it's the end all be all of everybody's conversation. The person has to come out Nigeria, or the person has to leave, or those kind of things. Like it just seems as if,
Yeah.
like, on both ends of the spectrum, nobody wants to think beyond, running away
Beyond
and
collapse.
throwing people out. You get, because if you want,
Yeah, yes,
if a ship
exactly.
is sinking, you
Beyond
get,
collapse.
if a ship is sinking
Yeah.
and you're throwing people out of the ship, what does that mean for you? Like, does it change the fact that your ship is sinking? Does it change the fact that your ship is actually
No.
you are going to be at the bottom of the ocean, same as if you are
No.
thrown off board? Like,
Exactly. Exactly. It's just slower. You will get to the bottom of the ocean
right,
sooner
right,
or later. Anyway,
right.
that King, what I'm saying, there is something. Let me tell you. You see the point that we've been starting all over as a civilization many times
Right.
has left something even in our DNA. This memory of collapse. We anticipate it. That's to tell you how many times we have collapsed and started all over. To the point that we don't even remember
And
how
I
many times we
even
have started all over.
I even want to put it forward, like it's just like a just a thought of mine, just a theory, it has no basis or whatever. But I feel like that is where the inkling for suicide comes from. You get, in individuals, where individuals want to commit suicide. You get, that's just like suicide
Mm-hmm.
is just like a microcosm of that thing you're talking about, that is etched in our
Mm-hmm.
DNA, like through civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
Like for one person, they
Yeah.
can just decide to end it, like probably I'll start again somewhere, somehow, like they just
Yeah.
end it.
Yeah.
There's no beyond that. And I think it's also because, like, we as a collective, we worship death as this our out. We have used death as a coping mechanism. You get, we have used
Yes.
destruction, we have used death as a coping mechanism. Like, instead of just, okay, it's
Yeah.
just something that happens in nature and it's just okay, over it, right? Okay, it just happens. Yeah, it's not something to be
Yeah.
afraid of, or it's not something to be like base your whole philosophy around, like death, and all of that. You get, so like I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
that's part of. It's just an inkling of mine, that on a
Yeah.
micro level, yeah. I feel like that's why human
Yeah.
beings, at the most extreme situations of hopelessness, of no solution, you get, they just think, oh,
yes,
let's just die.
exactly.
Let's just die.
Let's just
Yeah.
yeah. I think that you have a point there. Really, you do have a point because my skill is in observation and pattern recognition, right? So, and if you observe deeply the civilization that have existed before us, you get it. One thing again I have to state clearly is that we are continuation of all the civilizations. There is no nothing is ever lost at any point in time.
Yeah,
It
everything cannot be
continues.
created or destroyed.
Or destroyed, but can be transformed from one form to another. But you see, continuity. I find it that we do not have any continuity experience on a very genetic level based on past experience. You get it? And I'm thinking that it might be this epigenetic influence on our gene expression. It's not that we cannot make a continuity society. You get it? Once there's nothing wrong with from one level of advancement to another level of advancement without the exactly. But based on the expressions we have seen and the behavioral pattern and all the remembrance we can think of, everything boils down to collapse. Just at the but the thing again, collapse is not one of those. It's not like a curse. Collapse is not a curse. Collapse is an outcome, a very determined outcome
You have to think
of an
about the
ongoing
fact that
system.
at the end of the day, most of the civilization, most of us. Which one? Pepsi? Hold on. Okay. Before we continue, let's reorient ourselves. What is going on here? What are we doing here? Because there's a chat. There are different chats coming in, and somebody was like, "Oh, you're talking to yourself." I was like, "No," and they're like, "The Nigerian accent is strong," and I'm like, "We are two Nigerians talking here. Or we are two people that were born in Nigeria speaking here, so that's why we sound like that." Also, this is a kind of a podcast and any kind of thing that we're testing out. This is the test pilot, it's not even the main pilot here. This is a test pilot for our show, Uncut and Uncensored, with myself, King, and my dearest friend that's going to be my co-host. Ifu, tell us who you are. Give us a little bit of background because Ifu has saying a lot of things about governance, about systems, mechanisms, feedback. What's it be epigenetics on gene expressions? What is epigenetics or gene expression? So before you get to that point, tell us all those things so that we can have a little bit of breather on our conversation.
Okay, so how do I even start?
Anyway.
My background, like the people who is saying like Nigeria accent is too much. Of course, we were born and we started growing up in Nigeria, and Nigerian accent is a group of many languages. So, my dear, if you can understand the English, it's good. Yeah, all that matters. If you can follow the conversation, it is perfect. If something in you is stirred to look at alternative, perspective and expression, it is wonderful. So, welcome. And my background is interesting because I am not jack of all trades, but I know a bit of many things, But usually from the structural point of view, I have a medical background. a research background, a
Hmm.
management background,
Right, right.
and the systems background. So uh, my my words are usually under, like when you hear my words, it's either a combination of, mostly combination of some science that relates to the system.
Okay.
So the structure, the system design, system building. But now I'm not talking of computer system. I'm talking of the system as a human society. So
Okay.
the way you have the health system, the educational system, the society itself is a system.
Right.
And when you hear me talk about governance, governance is a layer on every system, the layer of control on a system that
Yeah.
allows it to remain functional over time, even in the absence of the initial architects or designers of the system.
Right.
So, and they are not new, because even currently we have systems existing in society, we have structures that exist. But as I've come to discover recently, that not everybody have the capacity to see structure like I do.
Yeah.
So when I am describing a situation, I am looking beneath the thing that many people are not seeing. I
Right.
am looking at the root that is giving birth to the branches and the fruit. And I'm questioning why the tree is planted where it is planted. So
Hmm. Yeah,
I
obviously, at
also
the
have
end
a
of the day.
medical background.
Yeah.
So
You also
my
have what?
diagnostic, I also have a medical background,
Okay.
which is where my, my very, how to say, clear diagnostic approach comes from. So,
Wow. That's wonderful. Like I'm so very proud of my friend. I just carry
so,
on my
so
shoulder like, oh, do you know that I have a friend that is, well exposed like this? Very, very proud. Like that's my entire pride. Like, oh yeah, and she's my friend. She's my friend. Yeah. So like
yeah,
we started this conversation all from discussion of alien because I have alien in my name. Yeah, King is an alien. That's the name of my
yes,
channel. Yeah, and it's an identity that
yes,
I took on late or early last year. To make peace
uh-huh,
with how much I could not wear a mask of conformity to get along with my environment. And I was like, you know what? Instead of beating myself over the head about something that I know cannot be changed, why not just own it?
yeah,
You get an alien was the perfect
mhm,
identity. And then we started talking about
yeah,
like, the idea of being an alien, what it really means, how it's supposed to inspire certainty. You
yeah,
get, and instead, in the systems that we exist in, it only inspires fear. The desire to control
yeah,
it, the desire to destroy it, basically. And then, like
yeah,
that desire to destroy. Now you can see that there's a line from there. Desire to destroy something you don't
yeah,
understand. There's a line from there to the horrible systems we exist in that is also leading us to a place of utter collapse, like total collapse of our
yeah,
civilization in the form of, ending every living thing existing right now. But this is that the end of
yes,
everything existing right now just means that we'll just come back again and start it again and get to
yes,
this point again. You get, and it's like if
yeah,
the
yes,
ship has a
exactly.
problem, if the ship is sinking, and some people are being thrown off, by people that are still on board. The people that are being thrown off, people that are still on board, you guys, we still have the same fate. Do you get, like, we still have the
Yes,
same fate? But why is it so
yeah,
important for people to throw others off ship, like, off the ship? Why is it so important
yeah,
for people to throw people off the ship? You know,
yeah,
and like
mm-hmm,
that's also something that like reeks of like a general lack of awareness, of what we are
mm-hmm,
and where we are right now in our existence. And it's like obviously we're not the
yeah,
only ones. There are other people that probably share this awareness that, oh, I think the place we are heading towards, instead of blindly going there kicking and screaming, why not think up a solution, because we've been here before so many times.
yeah,
You get, and
yes,
I also mentioned that
mm-hmm,
it could be a microcosm that is reflected in the way human beings take their own lives. The way human beings get
yes,
to the end of themselves and be like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not demonizing that situation, that mental distress of any human being. I am not
yeah,
demonizing, but I'm also saying that since it has been etched into our DNA that, oh, let everything collapse, let's start again. You
Yeah.
get,
Yeah.
if it doesn't reflect on a grand scale of the ending of the whole of us, one person can, take it out on themselves. You get, do it by themselves to themselves. You get, and all of that. So I don't know. I feel like it's also a form of control. Like, okay, your last ditch control towards something you don't have a handle on. You get, and then Ifu was talking about governance. You get, and it's not about politics. It's not about elected officials, because how can one person or a group of people represent thousands and millions of the needs of represent the needs of millions of different human beings? Yeah,
People.
it doesn't make any sense. Just
Yes.
because we are in one region, we are in one land mass. Okay, we are bordered by one
Yeah.
land mass. Yeah, so that means this group of people
Yeah.
should represent everything that we say. What about situations that are happening
Yeah.
right now where those representatives sell us out? Those representatives,
Yeah.
throw us in their belly, consume us. What are we going to do then? And like that's where we are right now. Do you get? And so like Ifu talks
Yeah.
about governance a lot. I feel like it's something, or not, I feel like I know it's something that they are fleshing out, fleshing out, fleshing out. Like, if does if you want to talk more about that in that sense, like what they have gotten so far, governance and
Mm.
all of that. We respect.
I mean, they will just conclude on what they were saying,
Yeah.
that what they are pointing out is that the lack of actual governance of our existing structure is what has led us as a civilization to where we are. And the verge of collapse is not new.
Right.
I
It's not
mean,
new.
again.
It's not
This
new.
verge of collapse is not a new thing. It's something that has happened over and over again. And
Right.
we are not in this whole idea that let's play a reset and then see, we've done it, we've been doing it. I think that the thing that bothers me with this reset all the time is that we do the reset, we begin with amnesia. We get to one
Yeah.
point,
Like when children are
we get
born, yeah.
and then that point that led to the reset, we reset again. So
Yeah.
it's a loop. But it's not a cause, like how people go like, I know, and it's not a human thing. It's not a human trait, like, oh, we are so much incapable of getting beyond this limit. And it's not that anybody has placed it on us, but it's mostly because we do not have structures that are governed in such a way that we can expand without collapse. Expansion. Expansion is an interesting thing. If you do not have
Right.
governed structures, you are bound to collapse. So it's the inevitable collapse is the inevitable outcome of an ungoverned society or governed structure
And
or governed
if you're talking
system. And
about
ungoverned.
expansion, like we've been expanding like at, what do you call this thing? Exponential rate. Like this our
Uh-huh.
civilization has been expanding at exponential rate, and it doesn't seem to stop anytime soon. So it feels as if like a time bomb, because
Yeah.
the degree of like the way you want to measure like exponent, there's also the aspect of time, yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of controls the exponent, or is kind of a factor that factors into the exponential increase. Yeah, time is also there. So it's like it feels like a time bomb. Do you get,
Yeah.
hanging
Mm-hmm.
over all of us, is like all of our heads, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what are we going to do about this bomb? But like I feel like the idea
Yeah.
of thinking that it's a time bomb is implanted. It's implanted to cause us to throw more people off the ship. You get, we're not thinking
Mm-hmm.
rationally. When I say we, I mean we as a collective. Like I don't think we are rational in our desperation right now. Obviously, if you're desperate, you're not going to be rational. You get, you know, yeah. Even the people
Mm-hmm.
that are trying to avoid being thrown off the ship, they are selling their souls out. They are, sacrificing their own people. All of those kind of things. By the end of the day, even if you are not thrown out, you are still going to be on this sinking ship.
Yes.
So, like, what is the solution? Do you think the solution is that we should now think that, okay, maybe a new ship will come, or we should repair the hole in the ship, or we should what? Like, how would you get out of a sinking ship? Like in the idea of governance and expansion, like what aspect of those
Mm-hmm.
those like what aspect of governance, can
Yeah.
be applied to a sinking ship? Governance in the way you are studying and making research on and observation
Yeah.
on.
Uh-huh. So, in terms of governance, the way to prevent a sinking ship is to actually, the first one is to get the architects, their place in there, to get the architects to do their job.
Wow.
Because the role of the architect is not for everyone. At least that's what I've come to realize. It's not everyone that can be an architect. I mean, system architect, I mean now.
Yeah.
So let the architect take the front role. And the first thing to do is not by providing solution, because if you don't know where we are, then we cannot bring solution.
Right.
So get the architect to the front row so that they can observe where we are heading, where we are, map out where we
Make
are, where we are
projections.
heading.
Yeah.
Exactly. And when that is done, also observe the pattern, that the pattern beneath the behavior, the structures that are giving rise to those behavior.
Yeah.
And when that is done, then we begin to implement.
Hmm.
The other set of people, not the architect now, the other people in operations will begin to implement. And one of those implementations to be done is this feedback, to start to use feedback to adjust the course of the ship, the direction of the ship. The question
That's
is,
true. I
do
didn't
we,
even when
is the
I was
ship
making the
about?
analogy of the ship. Sorry, when I was making, I didn't even think about destination. Do you get? In my mind, it's like, okay, we're in the middle of a big ocean, and that's the end. You get? Like, I didn't even think that there could be somewhere we were going, which is something we even have to think of. Like, this Earth, our civilization, is supposed to be going somewhere. Even if we don't know where
Right.
or what, it's supposed to be heading somewhere, but we keep on getting stuck at this point.
Yeah.
Do you get? Okay, continue.
So when that is done, the first solution is to get the architects to do their work.
Yeah.
That's the first solution, because we need to map out where we are. Now, it's not just where we are physically. I'm talking about structurally.
Yeah.
At the level of structure, the pillars behind the behavior, the thresholds. We need to know what are the thresholds we have already now. Is it 50? Like I gave the example with that water thing. Is it 1 week per one household and 3 liters per one household? So you need to map out the threshold, map out the boundaries, map out all of these things. These are the works of architects like myself, who can see the system at the structural level. When we do this mapping, then we move the baton to the operators who would implement. With also in this implementation, there is the place of boundary and enforcement, which is the very uncomfortable part. It's not
actually. Yeah.
it's not a like just do anyhow you like kind of situation.
No,
There is
and it's
also
also not
limit.
this thing when people say things like, let's just come together and know that we are one. No. No, it's not that.
No, that's one of the you see this idea, let's just come together and just remove all the laws and people can just be themselves. You have sentenced us to killing ourselves. It's not going to happen.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we need boundaries, we need threshold, we need structures, we need standard to be implemented, enforced. But in order to do that, we need to realize where we are.
Right.
So and then when we realize we are, it will determine if we need to increase the threshold. If we need to decrease it, do we need to actually take more people? Do we need to take 50 people out of the ship into a lifeboat that can sustain them on the water for like 10 days? Do we need to remove some goods? Or do we need to expand the ship to redistribute the weight of the ship? If we're going to do that, how long would it take? What would it cost us? So these are the things that the architects do when they observe the pattern, the structure. So we are not actually at the point where we are at the end of it. We'll sentence ourselves. If you look at many people are making many predictions of doom
I'm
of
not
what
even going
we
to
are.
lie, to be honest. Sometimes when I stay too much on Twitter, yeah, that is what comes to my mind. It's just like, God, like, let everything just end. So I think I'm also part of those doomsayers. Like, let this just end. Let's just start again or something like that. You get, but oh my God, this is giving me so much if it's not even hope, it's giving me like there's light. Okay, there's light. See, everybody
There's
just
no,
saying that
and there's work
everywhere
to
is
be done.
dark and there's no way anymore and we're
There's
just
no,
stopping. But there's actually
no,
light.
there's nobody coming to save us, and there is no reset that will take us from where we are. We have gotten here.
Right.
Except we cross this threshold, then we'll get here again after many years. And so it is time. It is time to cross the threshold. But this threshold crossing is not. It's not something. It's not like this. We'll see that there's a lot of work to be done. I tell you, there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of resources to be invested. If you realize that this is not a death sentence,
I think that's important for everybody to like reorient themselves, that like relax.
Yeah.
Like nobody has sentenced us to death. Why is it that the only thing we can think of now is like annihilation? Do you get like destruction of the race,
yes.
of the human race? Like
I know this thing I'm describing, yeah. What I'm describing, I've done on many levels. There are systems everywhere, not just the society, like maybe a whole town, a whole village. Yes, that's true. But even a business is a system. You get it? A classroom is a system. A home is a system.
Right. Right.
So the eye of the architect is needed in different places. And of course, the bigger societal system is also there. So if there are architects listening to us, it's important that you realize your role in taking us beyond this threshold.
Right.
Because if the architects don't, if we don't realize where we are, that we're at the threshold that determines if we collapse or go beyond it, then all the doom things that everybody is predicting, it's not that they are prophesying per se. They are just predicting an observable outcome. What they are saying is not like, oh, suddenly it will happen to us. It is observable. If everything continues to go as it's going now, then yes. Yeah. And it's not that anybody did it to us. It is, and where we are now, it's not that suddenly like we are just, these human beings, we are so terrible, we cannot live with each other. We are just, everything is just biting somebody, like all this each everywhere. No. What we're experiencing is a product of long expansion that has no structure.
Yeah. So
because it's not today we started to expand.
Yeah.
Yes. And expansion is not just number, population growth. There are many layers of expansion. Population growth, yes, is one of it. But also, do you know that there's advancement in human capacity to tap into themselves?
That's another aspect. That's another conversation that a lot of people, is so muddied now. Like, because when people think about human expansion, like in and of themselves, by themselves, they see it as some kind of wooey kind of, either is spiritual people or is what they call the quantum people, or is like conspiracy against the government people. Like, I don't know, there are like different factions of people that hold on to the basic idea of like expanding yourself as a human being, yeah, or no, not as a human, but like the capabilities to expand yourself in that sense, yeah. So when you start talk about it now, a lot of people want to pick sides, like in their brain, like they want to say, "Oh, are you talking about woo-woo spirituality, whatever, because it's not proven, it's not based on science, or are you talking about scientific calculation because not all of us understand science and all of that together?" And it's like, what exactly are we talking about here?
I'm talking about observable things that you can observe.
Okay.
So, for example, if you look at, for example, the obvious, okay, let's use this very simple word that is obvious to people. You've heard about Gen Zs, yeah?
Yeah.
Gen Zs and Gen X, Gen this one, Gen that one. Tell me, can you notice something? Are there difference between these generations?
Yes, there are differences between the generations.
And what does that tell you?
Oh, that's the human expansion of itself now, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, it's as simple as that.
It's only one example, though. It's only one very simplified example.
Yeah, if there can be obvious generational differences between people born like from the same, it's not like like is Gen Zs were given birth to by what? Is it millennials? I think, and then millennials were birthed by who? The boomers, yeah. So it's like it's not as if somebody
Mm.
came and gave birth to Gen Z. Do you get? And then somebody came and gave birth
No,
to
no,
millennials. Like it's still the same line of human expansion.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay,
that's
okay.
if you look at also their idea of their desire, their want, their
Very
idea
different.
of success, their questions and their answer. You know, you can see this generational gap. It's not that when people got older, they lost something. And when people are new, they knew more. No, it's that you can see that with each generation comes a different aspect of what it means to be human. And all of that actually influences people's perception, ideas, and decision. And what changes actually anything? Is it not people's perception, decision, and ideas?
It is
That somebody will do something is based on their perception of what is possible or what
reality,
is not
yeah.
possible. That someone would actually have certain behavior. It's also based on their decision. What is behavior? Behavior is not a game of decision. You decide,
Yale bread.
I will eat, I will not,
Yes.
I will,
Okay.
I will drink and I will not drink. So, hmm, so there is, we are, we are constantly, if we use the word evolving, but evolving is too broad. That's why I would use the word growth, expansion. If you look again, another expansion, the difference, hello, can you still hear me?
Sorry, what were you saying?
We are still on the expansion thing.
Okay, yeah.
And that's just one example. There are other obvious examples like the boom of technology, the boom of preservation of food and how that have changed behavior and pattern. You can look at the boom of certain medication that have either promoted
Right.
or demoted certain illnesses.
Right.
So all of these things, that's why I use the word expansion, not evolution, but expansion, because there are things that are bound to happen. Think about 2 years before. Are you the same person you were 2 years before compared to today? No. But where is the space and the gap to accommodate the person that you are becoming now?
I think there's also this need. Sorry, I think there's also this need for people to make something into this flowery, dramatized version of something before it becomes something impactful. Like the way you just said, "Oh, wait, the same person. I still the same person you were 2 years ago," and like obviously I can't tell. No, I'm not. You get? And I think most people would say the same. Like they'll say, no, I'm not the same person I was 2020, in like 2024, 2023. You get? But like people just say, but
Yeah.
that's normal. But that's, they just take it for granted. And I feel like that is why, like, the idea of bringing forth the architect, doing the hard labor of,
Yes.
restructuring,
Yes.
changing things, doing the hard labor is what people don't want because
Mm.
it's boring. They feel like, okay, there's no magic to doing work. Do you mean that all the problems in this world is just if all of us just act, actively, consciously present moment working? I don't want to do that. Do you get? They want something
Yeah.
like dramatized. They want something with music and loud trumpet. And I feel it's also something
Mm-hmm.
a bit of religious programming. The whole idea of heaven and hell and judgment and rapture. I feel like that thing has seeped into our consciousness to an extent where even people that are like very secular still think of an end. Do you get? And it's like even if the end were to come,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be dramatic like you think. It's going to be something like, oh, the sun is in the sky and human beings no longer exist. Do you get? It's not going to be
Yeah.
something so
Exactly.
some big ball of fire just going to like they say the sun will explode. Why would the sun explode? the sun explodes. Like, okay, people say this like, yeah, the sun is kind of like expanding something, little, whatever. And it's like, okay, but do you think like is when the sun finally expands to its new form, that'll be the end of the sun or what? Like, you might not even know how that expression is going to come, and you might not be existing anymore for it to happen. Like when it happens, so like, don't wait for the sun to be your, your what do you call it? Your ticket out of this earth that all of us are looking like destroy itself. You get like don't wait for something dramatic to come and help you go out. No, you're going to go out by yourself. You're going to live, and it's going to be in a very like ordinary way. And I think if it's going to be ordinary, I feel like if people come to terms with the fact that there is nothing dramatic going on here, the work of like reorienting ourselves, changing governance, restructuring ourselves is going to be a very arduous task that there will be
it's
no
a mundane task.
yeah, there will be no fanfare. Sorry, and you will not receive any medal because at the end of the day, you are the one that wants to live in this um good place, like not good place, but you want to live in this working system. Okay, so we have to uproot those things, and when we want to uproot things, it's not interesting. It's not interesting. It's very mundane. It will require you having to drop, you know, this fanfare energy of it all. Because how long can you be doing fanfare when we are doing the work of, okay, today people that are going to stay on the lifeboat, oh yeah, now time for you to go on the lifeboat so that we can adjust the weight so that people can be on the side of the ship while the architects work, or while the labor, like the woodworkers work, while the plumbers work, to repair pipes, all of those things. Like, it's going to be dull. And and I feel the fear of the mundane, the fear of dullness is what brought us to this point. Okay, when you hear people, the whole wave of pseudoscience like took flight. Really, when people started getting bored with themselves, and I say people getting bored with themselves, when I say me people, I mean people that had a lot of resources, they were bored. They're like, what do you mean? Like, for example, vaccines now. They like, if you take a vaccine, you don't have to worry about measles and chickenpox and all of this. And it worked so well that now people are like, but what if the vaccine, is not working? Okay, what if it's something that is destroying us? Because what else can we where else would they get the excitement of discovering something? The only idea that, oh, there's nothing left to discover in this on this earth again because all the scientists of so ages have discovered it. Let's discover something new by appending those people's work. And it's like, suffering is boring, dying is boring, pain is boring, everything that you can think of that causes like distress is boring. There's nothing exciting about suffering. But like, there's this dramatization. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just me projecting too. Like, sometimes in my life when I want something to happen and it happens, but I don't even notice it has happened because I'm like, there's no music. Do you get? When we have conversations, I'm like, there's no music when it happened. I just woke up one day and I just know that it has happened. Something has changed and all of that. And it's like, okay, now what? Do you get? And like, why are we so desperate for this um dramatization? What is so scary about like mundanity or like ordinariness, basically? Like, what is so scary about it?
I mean, the good news is that it's not everybody that is an architect who will do the mundane. Architects like myself find this so-called mundane very interesting because that's the thing that makes sense to our wiring. You get it? So the rest of the people can continue where they are in their very distress life.
Okay.
What they will now hear is that maybe they will start to feel the impact of enforcement. When it's around the time of enforcement, and they start to feel the impact of thresholds. So, for example, let's say maybe I don't know, they usually queue up to, or just randomly just run into somewhere to collect whatever they want to collect or buy something. Now they now realize that they have to queue up at the entrance, and they have to stand 1.5 meters to each other.
Yeah, they'll be uncomfortable. They'll be like, ah, why?
Yeah.
You know, like what's going on?
Some people
Why?
might never even know. Yeah, some people might they will just say something like, new government order, new ways of selling. So maybe now let's say somebody will go to the shop, they'll go like, no, we can't sell to you below whatever. Just you have to make it like this. So they will feel the impact of the threshold, the boundaries, the standards that have been, implemented. So that's what they will feel. They will feel and know that something has changed, something is different. They might not be able to even tell the immediate impact of that difference. Then gradually, maybe after some years, they now discover that, okay, those mosquitoes are not coming anymore.
Right.
Why though?
Right. It's like
You see?
they also have to be this big sensitization of this, like we have to drop this, not we have to, but we will all come to the point where we drop this desire, or this desire for miraculous, like let's do the miracle thing, let something happen, oh, without even knowing, something just changes, you know. And it's like, I feel like a lot of religion has like seeped into our daily consciousness. Like everybody's consciousness is just, oh, miracle, miracle, or religious, you know, leanings or whatever, mystical folk tales and all of that. You know, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that was once used as a form of like, you know, just entertainment that you know, but now it's now become the order of the day. You get.
Right.
And it's like, is it that civilization is so used to, also, you know, that whole thing of the familiar is more comfortable than the new, like as a whole civilization, it could be that it's just like, oh, we always know, we always die here, we always collapse here, like let's just keep collapsing as usual, you know, until something from outside changes us. And it's like, how do I tell us as a phrase that there's nothing from outside, there's no outside, there's only here.
There's only here. There is no savior. I say this idea of a savior and a hero. There are no heroes and no savior. Because when the ship sinks, everybody sink inside. Nobody is coming to save you. And then I think the whole idea of we are so, how to say, we've entertained ourselves so much so with the whole idea of miracle and mystery. Like, oh, we don't know what happened. It just happened. No, things happen because things are more mechanical than we think, mysterious, yeah? Just because you can't see
aside from
the frame.
There's also this thing of heroes, the heroes and the bad guys. I think that one is even more aligned towards thinking like there be one person, a hero, yeah. Yeah, I think that one too.
Then who will eliminate the bad guys and then things will go back to normal? No, the problem is not just the bad guy. As architects, we see the structure that makes possible for bad guy and good guys as a thing, echo to exist. So we are saying, because if that's why, even if you change the president on a very structural level, the structure remains the same if nothing is done differently.
The same system that created the problem, same system that will now manufacture solution. You get, and it's like, do you understand that the person, the main problem is the system, not this so-called single face actors, like just random players. No, they are all, even if you emulate this villain, you have to create an for you to feel as if you need the system, because when the system creates a problem, the system will not come and meet you that you see that I have a solution. So you need to like conform to me, like meet my terms, then I'll give you what you want. You get, and there's no real solution, to be honest. Like this system has not provided any long-term solution as far as we can see. Okay, there's no real solutions being provided. You get that kind of thing.
You know, it's even very simple. Sometimes when we talk about systems, people will think that we are just making like, this vague assertion or just talking about some vague thing that doesn't exist. Take for example, in the governance in a country, for example. And then what happened to all the things that people think that they don't see colors like the shades. They don't see the shades of the same color. Yeah. They just see that, you see now we are drinking Gary with 5 naira, and we're not drinking Gary again with 5 naira. The all implication of that action is ignored. You see. So we're not just saying, oh, system as if it's one random thing. For example, in some places, what you need is enforcement of existing standard. Enforcement is an actual thing. There is already threshold, or you enforce it. In some places, what you need is to create new standard, new threshold, new boundaries, and then enforce it. Because if you create a boundary or a threshold in a system and you don't enforce it, it's as useless as its existence.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the villain is a product of the system. The so-called good is also the product of the system. So the system doesn't care about morality. That's the system is not moral. The system is more how to say, more mechanical than what's it? More mechanical than that we believe it to be. Exactly. So it's very clear. If you add this and this, you are definitely going to get this outcome. The system is well calculated. You see the system, it is very defined. There is no vagueness in any system. Every action is predetermined. Every actor is assigned his role, predetermined.
I feel like that's why this unawareness that there is no vagueness to the system is why people are always shocked when some kind of level of depravity occurs, or when some kind of level of tragedy occurs. It's just as if, wow, like we could not have, or it's like, no, the system already made sure of that, like that thing happening, that
Exactly.
occurrence, the system has already made sure of it. And if you look at that so-called depravity or tragedy, whatever it is, if you look at it deeply, you will see something that led to it. It didn't just spring up out of nowhere.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It didn't. Nothing ever.
you will find its origin in our
Nothing.
systems.
Yes. I know the funny thing about system. The system does not suddenly just come. It doesn't happen. There is always a warning sign. The dashboard is off the chart. But the question is, if there is, because governance is actually the control of the system. Because the system controls everybody. And if you leave it uncontrolled, that is where we get to where we are right now. So when I'm emphasizing on the governance of a system, I'm saying the system needs to be watched, looked at. When the dashboard is going off the chart, there needs to be somebody saying, wait, he's on red now. He's on red, move. He's on red. Because before anything happened, the dashboard will blink, the dashboard of the system, which is in I call the feedback. You get it through the feedback. There is always feedback. But if there is no governance of a system, that means nobody is looking at it. There is no oversight. Nobody is reading the data. Nobody is verifying it. Nobody is verifying if the thing we said we are doing, we are still doing it. If there is no escalation path, there's another thing called escalation path for any system governance. There needs to be an escalation path. That's the path that feedback travels based on threshold. And something needs to be done with that escalation. So if escalation is not governed, doom is upcoming. There needs to be explicit authority. Who is in charge of what and what, not those group of people, but who exactly, what is the person in charge of? So that if the dashboard is blinking at, say, one orange that is red, who is in charge of oranges? Why? Okay, come. Why is the orange red? Okay, yes, like that.
Yeah.
And these ones are very fundamental system governance, on a very fundamental level. I say this is level 0 level. Authority governance, escalation pathways, exception pathways. Another aspect of feedback is exception. Any system that is governed must have an exception pathway because the system is bound to expand. You get it? That's why exception must be controlled, must be governed. So that if something different comes up, you don't squash it, you don't throw it away. You prepare for it, you channel it, come to this direction. It comes. Now, for example, we're noticing that, there are more, say in 3 babies that are born, 2 of them are autistic. Then we start to ask, okay, what does that mean for us? In education, in health, in everything, in cost, in payment. Plan starts immediately. You get it?
Yeah.
So extension pathway is a mandatory basics on a zero level of any system that is governed. And then authority pathway.
Okay,
So this is what I'm
if
saying.
we have to cut it short here.
Okay.
We have to cut it short here. Not because we don't want to continue, but because let's keep it for the next testing. This one we just need to test the audio. Do you get next testing? We're going to test for the video, how the video is going to work.
Okay.
Do you get on live streams?
Okay.
That's one.
Mm-hmm.
That's another that I'm going to test. So knowing that, I just saw somebody left a comment, and I want to address it because like it's so interesting. This person said, "I've never heard Nigerian accent on CNN, BBC, not on any high international platform." I like, what do you have to say to that? If
Like the person have never heard it as what now? What does the person mean?
as on
Uh,
CNN or BBC or any high international platform, what does that even mean?
Is it a question or a comment
It's
or
a
what is
comment.
it
It's
supposed
a
to be?
comment. The person is saying the Nigerian accent is not for them.
The person is saying that, but no, let's not interpret what the person is saying. Let's go by what is
No,
written. What
he
did the
said,
person write?
no, the first comment is the Nigerian accent is not for me. Then they continue to say
Okay.
they've never heard it on any CNN, BBC, or any high international platform. And it's like, what does that even mean?
No, no, no. I mean, is it not a matter of a free word? The Nigerian accent is not for everybody, yeah. And even if it's not on CNN and BBC and whatever, yeah, of course. There is every day. How do you say that? There's every day something new. You get to learn something new. You get to see something new. You get to, I don't know, see how other people are doing life. So, welcome to the life of traveling. If this person has a very good traveled history, you will know that it's not only Nigerian assets we have in the world. There are many, many assets. Like think about the number of languages. We're not even talking about languages now. We're not talking
Just
about languages
accents.
all over the world. We're talking about Nigerian accent. Yes, Nigerian accent is actually one of the accents that exists. So yeah, and if you've not heard it before, welcome to your history class, and we are giving you very accessible, how do you say, travel experience.
Yeah.
So put Nigeria in your, how to say, bucket list of places to go visit because there are many, 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 many more things to be discovered. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This was wow. This was so much fun. This was very fun. Like at some point here, it didn't even matter about like being watched. It's just like, oh, I just sank into that feeling of like, meeting, like having this conversation with you. You get like, I was like, ah.
Mhm.
So like there's the part of me that was like, oh, viewers and all that. It's like, but I like what Ifu is saying right now, and I'm enjoying what she's saying, and I want to hear more of what she's saying. You get so
Yeah, yeah.
it's like
I
yeah, that's
enjoyed
the
it
fun
too.
part of it. I think, and that's why I'm so happy that I started this thing with you. So I look forward
Yeah,
to the expansion of it. With structure,
yeah.
with governance. I think next time I'm going to try to see. I'm going to try to see how video can work. I don't know if I can
Uh-huh.
invite. You have a YouTube channel, yeah?
I'm not active. I mean, if you have access to YouTube, you should have it. Okay, well,
I don't know if
it's
you
not
can have
active.
like
But,
you can
yeah.
come on the live stream and us can like talk or something like that, but I don't know.
Okay. On YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Okay. Is it possible for you to send me an invite there, or just
Yeah,
like send me the
I don't
link
know the
and
way
start it, and then we can try?
there's an option to invite. You get, and then I'll now come online and I'll now see. But today I just wanted to test the audio, so maybe the next time we're going to
Mm-hmm.
talk about. Well, next time we meet up again, we're going to try the audio thingy. Sorry, the video thingy. Yeah.
Okay.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
but this
Mm-hmm.
has been
Yeah.
fun. This has been so much
Yeah. This was
fun.
fun for me too. I always enjoy not just talking about governance and structures, but it gave me also this clarity that I was asking myself, like, it's more like a reminder. I've always known it, especially when I started to go deep into governance, that we are not doomed. the way we think. It's not like
Yeah.
this. We are automatically sentenced to where we are. No, we are not. We still have option, and that's why when I look at my life, I said, if you have to continue, you have to continue, even if you don't know what you are holding on to. You have to hold on and continue, because I can see a way out.
Wow. Now I
Mm.
can relax because like you know how much like Ifu matters to King so much. Like Ifu is inside King's heart. So for Ifu to be like, I can see a way out here, I also believe in Ifu's
Yes,
way out. Yet I also believe
yes,
in Ifu's way
yes,
out. Which one?
yes.
I also believe in Ifu's way out. So I don't feel so hopeless. You know?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yes, 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 yeah. Mm. I can see a way out.
There are a lot of children that I deal with. They are so interesting.
Mm. Mm.
A lot of
Mm.
children I deal with, and like I do expect, you know,
Yeah,
majority of my customer base to be children. But to be honest, no children have a mind of their own.
they do.
They know what they
They
want,
are not family.
and they're not backing down on it. They're not backing down on it. Like they know what they want, and they don't care about your
Mhm.
opinions or your suggestions. Yeah.
Yeah, they, whatever you have, they know what they want, and they're like,
And they're like, they'll just sidestep what you're saying and be like, how about not? And like, how about this? And they're like,
yeah.
how about not? Okay,
They
point
just
to what you
become
want
very,
then.
yeah. Not that they know what they want to, but now them persisting on it depends on their experience, their past experience.
Yeah, the past experience of, torture, survival
Yeah,
tactics, fear, all of that. So
yeah,
they just have to
yeah,
conform. They will not conform. Oh. Some of them,
yeah,
IST,
yeah.
you just send them away. That's all. But they will not
Mm,
listen to you. So, and that's good. I
true.
think we need more of that. To be
Yeah,
honest.
that's a better one. Yeah.
So this concludes our time here. Look
Yeah.
forward to. It was successful. I feel I'm going to still watch it again, like to see how the audio came across. Maybe we'll make
Mm-hmm.
it up to a mic. That would be better.
Okay.
What?
Nice.
Where? Eh. What do you want to buy? I mean, I used to go when Jen was on. You're not here. Oh, was it not one? Okay, it was 1,250. Yeah, yeah, 1,450.
Ana m abịa.
Let me go and cook. Next time. All right. Congratulations. I was surprised you're asking for rice. Yeah, so if we will see on the other side.
All
Thank you
right.
so much for
Bye-bye.
your time. Thank you for people
You're
that tuned
welcome.
in. Thank you so much for listening to us. I hope next time we'll be able to share more opinions from the audience and we'll be able to test our video too. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.